Alright guys, welcome back. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Hope you guys had an amazing trading week. My trading week started out rough, but we ended up coming out in profit. Not the not the type of profit I would want to see, but PSP man, PSP. But today I want to talk about low probability setups and a high probability setup. And whoa, my bad. And how I didn't take a low probability setup and it ended up still playing out, and how a high probability setup to me would have gotten me break even. So today I want to talk about two trades that I missed out on today, and I mean yeah, I want to like get on into it. I didn't take any trades today. Executions are on, apply to all. No trades today. No trades today. This was the mock trade I ended up taking. This was the low probability trade that ended up playing out, and I want to talk about the high probability trade that would have gotten me at break even. So let's talk about it. Wait, I forgot to. Okay. Okay. So first things first, coming into market open, I was mixed. I lied. I was bearish. Why were you bearish? Because we were in a high time frame gap. What I also noticed is that we also had a high time frame bullish SMT. So with these two confluences, basically conjugating, I think that's how you say it. Anyways, getting smushed together into one, it practically led me to be unbiased coming into this morning, but I was leaning towards bearish. Yes, we had a high time from SMT. Yes, I shouldn't go against the high time from SMT, but in my eyes, the high time from SMT would have played out just to get into this gap. Like I thought this was just a high time from SMT, just these two candles to get into the gap. That was my idea. And the market open, we would probably see some manipulation, and I would honestly like to trade the manipulation, the leg to the lows, so we can create another SMT and be bullish because we had the high time from SMT, like how we did yesterday. but I would have been fine trading the manipulation, because if I'm bearish and I know the draw is the target, it's going to be super easy to target. But that wasn't the case, and this trade that if I would have entered would have got me break even, but I ended up missing my entry because my Wi-Fi was on. My Wi-Fi was actually so heated this morning. I was actually kind of pissed. But yeah, let's pretty much talk about it. Coming in the market open, ES swept out London session highs. Market open. Yeah, my bad. ES swept out London session highs right here. Excuse me, and 7 a.m. highs. We did the same thing on Nasdaq. However, we did not make an SMT anywhere. Like, not that I see any SMT. Because I was trying to figure out why we had a reversal so like swiftly. Okay, never mind. The SMT is probably somewhere right here. Yeah, the SMT is probably somewhere right here. Yeah, that makes so much sense. Yeah, the SMT is probably somewhere right here. So we had an SMT. On top of that, we ended up inversing the first presented gap. So with that in my mind, I don't even use the first presented gap, to be honest. I peep it sometimes, but I don't really use it. On top of that, we also had a change in state right here. Right, this was the first trade idea, and everything was looking pretty calmly. I'm not going to lie. We ended up inversing the first presented. On top of that, we ended up coming down and literally changing the state. We did not inverse any gap. I mean, no, we did inverse a gap, but we did not tap into any gap. However, we had this breaker block that we ended up tapping into right here. Excuse me. We had two entries actually. We had entry number 1 right here into the breaker, and mind you, I don't take breaker block entries, but I only take it if I have to. And then we had the second breaker block entry right here. So first one, I was just waiting for the gap. I didn't really see the breaker block until we were all the way down here, and I was like, okay, we have a breaker block and we have a gap. Let's see if we can, retrace into one of them, so the way I could at least get an entry. My Wi-Fi wasn't hot, so around like 9:40ish. So literally right when this candle came into this bearish, tapped into this, hello, tapped into this, Dog, hello. Tapped into the freaking breaker block. Oh my god, I couldn't sleep. Not sleep. Talk. Speech. Speak. Oh my god, bro. That's. Ugh. Anyways, as soon as we tapped into this breaker block, I was kind of on haunts because I was like, damn, bro, I really missed my entry to the lows. Mind you, we still have the high time from SMT, so in theory and in reality, these lows should be protected. Well, these lows should be protected, but I wanted this low as well, and then potentially these lows to create another SMT with London session lows, and then we continue higher. We did not end up getting that actually. We did come close to it on ES. We came very very close to it. We did not retrace into anything, any breaker at all whatsoever. I wouldn't even count this as a retrace to be honest, because this was just honestly I wasn't even counting this to be honest, because I don't take my trades on ES. I'm trying to transition more onto Nasdaq now. Um, just to risk more, and then when I'm actually funded, I'll swap between the two, whichever one I see best fits. And then with that in my mind, I was kind of pissed because I was like, damn, we ended up missing my entry, and this would have been my actual entry. Like right here, stops would have honestly been above the. Okay, that's freaking shorts. Right here, stops would have honestly been above the swing high, because if we reach to the breaker, I see no reason to go into the freaking bro, hello. Am I tripping? Oh, bro, that's long. I'm actually retarded, bro. If we what should we call it? If we are what should we call it? If we retrace, I mean, since we retrace into the gap, I see no reason to. I mean, into the breaker, I see no reason to come into the gap. I mean, unless we could put it right here at the top. That's where like my original trade would have been, like in the middle. Because then yeah, we could come in retrace a little bit and then wick if we were like truly sensitive to it. And then obviously I would have targeted these lows, right? And it's above the swing high, so it's like boom, even better, like bread and butter. So unfortunate, unfortunate, unfortunate. Um, okay, my bad. This was very unfortunate. Price ended up almost coming down, taking out these. Taking out this London session low, and then these London session lows right here. ES was just very stacked highs, but like I said, the high time from SMT was protecting these lows. Like, damn, nigga, my bad. But we had everything that I wanted to see here. So obviously, with this nice displacement, if I was in hypothetically with that next displacement, like I always tell you guys with displacement, I'm always going to be break even. So boom, I would have been break even, no risk, hands on. Yeah, I would have been quick into the trade, but I only go break even if one, we hit take profit one, crazy displacement, or we're respecting bearish PD raise, which gives me enough reason to go lower. But yeah, with that being said, we ended up reversing. I don't even know how we reversed. Genuinely, I don't even know what caused this, but I guess this was the manipulation leg. And like I said, I wanted to trade the manipulation leg because I would have properly mitigated my risk, because I knew my draws and liquidity, bro. It was gonna be like, so this was like low key free money, but that ended up not playing out. Well, I got stopped out break even. So high probability setup, break even right there. And let's talk about the low probability setup that ended up playing out. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, right here. Okay. So our next draws on liquidity. Let's zoom out. With London session highs, Asian session highs, and 50% of this hourly gap. Yes, I love targeting 50% of the hourly gap because it will usually always fill it to that tip and then continue to wherever it's going to go. And let's turn on, so you guys don't believe me. Oh, well, Asian session highs are all the way right here, but I like this as Asian session highs, and we have London session, and we have the, like, bro, everything here was lining up for bullishness. Like I said, I was up for shorts and longs. It just depends which one wanted to like market sell first. So anyways, price ends up like disrespecting the hell out of this PD, right? Out of this gap. Excuse me. What I originally wanted, market open, we ended up disrespecting this gap, which led me to be bearish, continue to these lows. But as soon as we inverse this gap, I was bullish again. On top of that, price ended up retracing down into this 5-minute gap. So I'm like, fire, bro, let's get it. Like, I'm literally like, I'm down to get dirty, bro. We ended up creating two gaps. We ended up having our change of state. We ended up having a BPR and a gap that I honestly wanted price to inverse here. I mean, not inverse, wanted price to dip down here, and I would have caught like beautiful longs up here. But we ended up creating two other gaps, and I wanted price to make a rainbow into this gap before we continue higher, and we did not get that at all, bro. It was pretty unfortunate, but let's talk about this low probability setup. So, like I said, draws are London session highs, Asian session highs, 50% of this hourly gap. Price ended up 10 a.m. open. We ended up opening higher. I mean, we ended up opening lower, so led me to be bullish. So I was like, okay. I think how that's work. I don't know. Sue me if I'm wrong. But anyways, price ended up taking out London session highs, and I'm like, damn, bro, I'm done trading for the day. Because if I still wanted longs and we still continue to retrace, we already took out a high time frame drawn liquidity. So only thing I'd be targeting is just these two, and then even then, right? Even then, I don't even like this because I wanted all of these to be untapped so it's more high probability. High probability, because right, we could sweep out this, and then ES didn't even sweep it out at this time. And we could have had a SMT with this, and then we could have continued lower, and then boom, one low probability we have an SMT against us. So after we retraced into these gaps, I was like, damn, bro, let me just place a mock trade as my entry, like right here, because we were displacing. We retraced, and then we were so sensitive with this gap, and then boom, we ended up coming higher. We ended up closing right here, but I placed my mock trade like right here when the candle was right here. So I was like, okay, let's wait for the next candle, and then boom, that's how it is. I'm gonna target all of this, and I ended up setting alerts. My phone's in the bathroom, but I got off the charts. So I was like, okay, bro, if this hits, that's cool. I'm not really pressed, but I'm like, damn, that's pretty unfortunate how we took out London session highs and then we retraced. What I wanted was honestly to not retrace at all. I mean, to not even hit any of these draws, retrace in the one, and then continue to hit all of them. That would have been high probability to me because we have untapped high time frame PD arrays. I mean, high time frame lows. So low probability to me is when we already take out a drawn liquidity and then we retrace and then we still continue to take out the rest of the draws. I would prefer it to be those draws not tapped out. We retrace into a PD array. I take it, and then we continue to those longs because boom, we'll hit all of those at the same time, if not relatively quickly. So yeah, and the high probability setup, we ended up inversing the 5-minute gap off a market open, changing the state all the way down here, retracing to the breaker, missed my entry, and then boom, take profit one would have been these 5-minute lows. I was waiting to see like what created this huge reversal. I thought it was an SMT, and it was not an SMT, bro. Like genuinely, it was not an SMT. Like I have no idea what literally created this, bro. Like yeah, I wish I could. Yeah, I don't know what created this, but yeah, I don't know what created this. But yeah, like I said, take profit one would have been these 5-minute lows, and then two London session lows, and then obviously if this SMT wasn't really true, like if I was right and it was only just to tap into the gap, it would have been calm. It would have been cool if we targeted all of this, but I mean, yeah, it's part of the game. Honestly, it's all good. No trades. I ended up this week pretty. I started this week pretty bad, and we ended up pretty good. So alhamdulillah, I'm happy for that. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. That is my definition of a high probability and a low probability trade. I am now going to go hoop. It is 11:30. I'm gonna go hoop, enjoy my day, and I got work, so that's gonna be crazy. Making money while learning how to make easy money, man. It's part of the game, man. It's part of the game. I'm not really pressed, to be honest. I was kind of like triggered when I was like, damn, bro, that's pretty unfortunate how the low probability trade ended up playing out, but the high probability trade ended up getting me break even if I had taken that trade. But like I said, it is literally all part of the game. So it's like, what can you really do besides just do what the market tells you? And as long as you see your system in place, you always have a high probability chance of winning. Because remember, you have to think in probabilities, bro. That's what every good trader says. Think in the terms of probabilities. If I see a low probability setup, I'm not gonna take it. If I see a high probability setup, I'm gonna take it. I'm either gonna win. I'm most likely gonna win. But there's gonna be days where I'm gonna go break even or I'm gonna lose. So I mean, it's all good, man. It's part of the game. So with that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. We are almost at 100 subs. I love you guys so much. Come give me another kiss. Mwah. Bro, when I hit 100 subs, bro, I don't even know. I'm gonna freaking spaz out. Maybe I'll hit 100 subs whenever I pass my fun date. Soon. But with that being said, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for coming with me a part of this journey, bro. I like, bro, when I'm like so much more consistent with trading more and like actually like making like money, bro. I have plans with what I want to do with this future, with what I want to do with this channel, and I'm really happy to honestly potentially bring it into light, and I will bring it into light. But I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace.